Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Video. So yesterday we got a pretty substantial leak, I suppose you can say. I believe a retailer in a different country, somebody posted an image of the official early days collection physical case, which includes all of the games that are going to be revealed and playable in the early days collection. Now, at the time of recording this video, we have only gotten 8 games officially announced. We did know that there would be over 10 titles, according to this leak, which looks pretty legit, unless somebody faked the entire case and the back of the case. I mean, it looks very, very legit. We are getting a total of 14 games. Now, I have not done really a video on the early days collection. For those that don't know what the early days collection is, it's a video game compilation that's coming out for the Switch and for PC via stream. It's going to be a collection of various old school Yu-Gi-Oh games, and it is releasing February 27th of next year. Now, a lot of people were wondering what type of games we would get. The 8 that were announced so far were all Game Boy games, and I am going to start with the bad news. Based on these leaks, there are no console games coming in the early days collection, which really is a bit of a bummer. I know there were probably so many people that were hoping Forbidden Memories would be included in this. Now, Forbidden Memories is one of the few games that I've tried to play that I just really, really struggled to get into. I've got to give that one another chance, but I do recognize that that game has such a large cult following. It is such a beloved classic game that I think a lot of people were really hoping were going to come out in this collection. Unfortunately, it is not. I would have loved to see Duelists of the Roses or Capsule Monster Coliseum. Obviously, those both being console games. It's not going to happen. This is all Game Boy games. And I will read you the list right now. And again, this is according to the leak of the game case. So the included games: Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters 2 Dark Duel Stories, Yu-Gi-Oh! Monster Capsule GB, Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Duel Stories, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters 4 Battle of Great Duelists, Yu-Gi-Oh! Dungeon Dice Monsters, Yu-Gi-Oh! The Eternal Duelist Soul, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters 6 Expert 2, Yu-Gi-Oh! The Sacred Cards, Yu-Gi-Oh! Reshef of Destruction, Yu-Gi-Oh! Worldwide Edition Stairway to the Destined Duel, Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship Tournament 2004, Yu-Gi-Oh! Destiny Board Traveler, and Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 Trials to Glory World Championship Tournament 2005. You may have heard me snickering as I read some of those titles. Some of those titles are just so funny, right? Like Duel Monsters 6 Expert 2, Duel Monsters 4 Battle of Great Duelists, but meanwhile Duel Monsters 5 is not on there. I mean, I imagine there was a Duel Monsters 5. But anyway, some of the naming structures are really interesting with those games. I know Reshef of Destruction is one a lot of people are looking forward to. I know a lot of people say that that game is very long and will be pretty difficult. Little bit of a announcement here, by the way. I am going to be streaming this as soon as it drops, probably on February 28th. And I am going to be live until I beat all 14 of these games. I am aware that we might be live here for about a week, but I will have it planned out. We are going to do a massive, massive marathon stream when the early days collection comes out that I am very, very excited to play. So stay tuned for more on that. And if you needed any more information regarding just features of the game, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters 4 is going to have online battles. There are going to be new options to unlock all cards and hidden characters previously available through infrared data communications. Rewind, fast forward, and quick reset options are available. That is wonderful. You usually get those options when you play games on emulators. That is really, really cool. Love that, especially the fast forward option. There is an option to remove the deck capacity and duelist limit levels and cards from the forbidden and limited list. There's a digital gallery to view a game's original instruction manual and box art. There are options to customize controller button layouts and background of the games. So super cool. And of these 14 games, you might be wondering how many I've personally played. I've only played 2. So I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Dungeon Dice Monsters. I probably played that 2 or 3 months ago on the channel. I've been going through playing the retro games right now. We're currently playing Over the Nexus. Stream it every Monday, Tuesday. That game's been incredibly great. Dungeon Dice Monsters was very fun, so I'm excited to see that one here. The other one I played was actually the one right below it, the Eternal Duelist Soul. That was like my fixation game when I was 8 or 9 years old. I absolutely loved playing that game. My whole deck was just high attack level 4 monsters. You know, Gemini Elf, Bistro Butcher. I still remember it. Just, you know, that's how you would construct decks. At least that's how I would when I was, you know, a kid. Just spam high level 4 monsters, have like Mirror Force and, you know, Raigeki and cards like that. That game was a lot of fun, so I am really excited. That's going to be a big nostalgia trip for me when we get to that game. But the other 12 games I have never played before. And here's the thing. I know some people are going to be a little upset, and I get it, that there are no console games. You got to keep in mind, if this does really well, if this sells really well, and I would recommend getting this if you are a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh!, especially the old retro games, because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And a lot of these games probably are not going to play similarly to how the main game plays now, but I do think there is some nostalgia and fun in that personally. Just like seeing how Yu-Gi-Oh! Was so different back then. I mean, I know Dungeon Dice Monsters is a totally different game, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of games that play differently. I mean, I'm guessing that because the Eternal Duelist Soul plays pretty normally, but the other 12 might not. I mean, I'm not 100% sure. I keep thinking Duelist of the Roses, Forbidden Memories. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make, if this sells really well, they certainly might do a sequel to this, Early Days Collection 2 Console Edition, where they remake Forbidden Memories and Duelist of the Roses and Capsule Monster Coliseum. And so I think there is a lot of potential to still see that down the road. It stinks that, of course, we're not getting any console games included in this now, but I still think there is a lot of hope for this series because there are so many Yu-Gi-Oh! Video games. I mean, this only covers the DM era as well. The last game was 05. This doesn't cover anything in the GX era, let alone 5Ds and onwards. Think about all the Tag Force games. Think about the 5Ds World Championship Series games, the Zexal Duel Carnival. Like, there is still so much that they can do and make with those older games. So I have to imagine if this sells well, we might see maybe a sequel to this down the road. But guys, that is the leaked, and again, it is a rumor. This is not confirmed. We only have 8 of these 14 confirmed. But I would be really surprised if someone went through the trouble of faking an entire box art that looks as good as this, that makes as much sense as this. I feel pretty confident that these are going to be the definitive games. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know of these, which ones you've played. Let me know which ones you're most excited for. I'm excited to talk to you about everything Early Days Collection down below in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day. Take care, guys.